Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name is Chopper, and in today's video we're going to be using a part of the timeline to bring a lot more weight and to explain a certain map in our storyline that has been kind of well hidden and didn't make a lot of sense to us in the beginning, and now if we finally have some more background context, and that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. And of course, before we get started, if you guys do enjoy today's video, a like rating would always be appreciated. You absolutely smashed our like rating or like goal of 200 likes on the other video, and maybe if you guys want to, we could break 215 likes on this video. That'd be absolutely insane. But either way, I hope you end up enjoying this video regardless, because we have a lot of crazy and cool stuff to talk about, and I'm very excited for this. Now, Shi No Numa was the third Zombies map to ever be released, and this was a DLC for World at War. And when we think back to the storyline implications of these older maps, Nocturne Toten was kind of the start of everything. When Noct was invented, though, it didn't have a story, and it was sort of community-based and driven. They saw what we put into it, and then they went from there. And then Verrückt is where it started to take shape. We were introduced to some brand new characters, and then Shi No Numa is where things really started to take off. Like, each and every map would add more and more to it, but even then, Shi No Numa wasn't that storyline in-depth, and we didn't really know what its significance was. The biggest things at the time that we took away from this map is that this was a Japanese facility of some sort. We didn't know exactly what it was called or the specific name, which we're going to get to a little bit later. And we also know that this is where Peter McCain ended up dying. We can see him as the hanging man right in the spawn room, and this is, pretty much the biggest takeaways in terms of how it influences the storyline. Like every other map, we can relate and see the chain of events that went on to set the storyline in motion, but Shi No Numa was kind of the anomaly, and we didn't really know why we were there or what purpose it really served besides Peter and it being some kind of Japanese facility. Maybe our characters just visited to see if Peter was still alive. That was a theory that we had as well. But it's now become apparent to us from the timeline that Shi No Numa is much more important than we previously thought. So take a look at this. We have on October 21st, 1945, Ultimus travels to the Rising Sun facility to recover Richthofen's diary. Upon reading it, Richthofen begins to form his plan to defeat Samantha. So it's not that much information just in terms of how many words there are. It's pretty short, but the words that it tells us hold so much weight. We know that Shi No Numa is indeed the Rising Sun facility, and this was referred to so many times within Black Ops 3. And then we also know that this is where Richthofen came back to retrieve his diary. And that was something that was previously unknown to us. We had no idea that we were at this place just so we could get Richthofen's diary and his research and that sort of thing. I thought for the longest time that the biggest reason that Shi No Numa was a thing and why our characters were at this spot was to see if Peter McCain was still, alive. And then when they end up there, they realize that he's hanging, he's dead, but they find themselves, kind of trapped with zombies, and they still need a way out. Like, they're already there at the facility and just to check on Peter, but now they have zombies to deal with and they have more pressing matters. That's literally what I thought the most important significance was. And then now we've got the timeline revealed, and we see that Richthofen's diary is the most important thing we have here. And I just find this stuff so fascinating because we get so much more background context on Shi No Numa, and it's connecting everything and making it a lot more sense. Now, if you guys remember a certain cipher in Der Eisendrock, this is actually found behind one of the barriers, and it's flag cipher, and this reads as follows. After the success at the Rising Sun facility, Division 9 is moving with Phase 2. The island facility is now operational and initial testing is underway. And we know Division 9 to be Zetsubo no Shima. We found that when that map dropped. So this is kind of relating everything together now, and we're seeing the connections being made. Essentially, what Shi No Numa does for the storyline is set up for a bunch of different maps. When Richthofen leaves his journal at the Durice facility, this allows the Russians to get a hold of it and then thus expand their knowledge on Element 115. And this is also setting up for Ascension with Yuri and Dr. Gersh. And of course, in Ascension, we know that Samantha ends up getting into Yuri Zavoisky's head and it pretty much drives him mad and tricking Dr. Gersh into activating his own device on himself and thus turning him into the Wisp that you see at the end of the Easter egg and also in Garad Krovi. All of this stuff wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for that initial caveat that was Shi No Numa. This pretty much set up for the entire story of Black Ops 1. I think it's just really cool to see now how much we missed back in the day, in terms of weight for the story. We didn't know that Shi No Numa's biggest thing was that Richthofen went back to collect his journal and his notes and that sort of thing to develop his plan against Samantha, but now that we know that, Shi No Numa is just such a more integral map to the entire story. And it's not that the zombies community misunderstood Shi No Numa and we were completely wrong about it. It's just that we didn't have enough background context to really fully and get a good grasp to understand what's actually going on in this map and why it makes sense for the rest of the story. It just really wasn't adding up to us until now, when we have this part of the timeline that tells us that Richthofen went to this particular location to get his journal and his notes, and then he ends up leaving it in Durice. We did not know that previously. But at any rate, I thought I'd make this video to catch everybody up on what's going on with Shi No Numa, and it just just, I guess, provide a little bit more background and context to the storyline, and I hope this made sense to you guys. And I have so many more things that we're going to re-clarify in terms of old story stuff that's on the timeline. I have so many things that I need to make videos about, but there's just so little time to do so right now. But believe me, these kind of videos will be coming out on the channel periodically, so make sure you guys are subscribed for that sort of stuff. They will be coming out very, very soon. But other than that, guys, I think we can go ahead and wrap things up here with a good understanding of this. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you do drop a like on the video. It'd be very much appreciated. And hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already, if you are brand new to my channel. And thank you everybody so much for watching again. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all on the next video. Peace out.